Yeah, I see a lot of people, left-wing people right now, claiming hypocrisy, hypocrisy, because of people trying to hold them accountable for saying all this kind of crazy stuff, celebrating somebody being taken out in public, celebrating that kind of behavior, making jokes about it, what have you, posting all these things on social media. The one guy who was there when it happened and started cheering and jumping up and down right afterward, posting all these videos, doing all this crazy stuff, making light of it, making a joke about it, celebrating all this stuff. And people, and a lot of conservative people, trying to hold them accountable, trying to find out where they work, trying to get them fired, trying to have a lot of pressure and shame put on these people. And they're saying that this is hypocrisy, because people on the right wing all the time complain about cancel culture, and now they're just doing cancel culture in return. And I've heard people on the right side say, well, this isn't cancel culture, it's just accountability. I'm going to say I disagree. It is cancel culture, and that's fine. But it's still not hypocrisy. Cancel culture, I'm going to argue, okay, cancel culture is not inherently a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to hold someone to a high degree of accountability and to publicly shame them and to give them a rough time for their behavior. The question is, what sort of a behavior from that person would lead to it being appropriate to do some sort of cancel culture stuff on them? That's what the question is. And it's not a matter of free speech. Free speech is about the government. It's about the government not having the right to imprison or otherwise fine or punish somebody, a private citizen, for their political opinions. And we all know that there are two exceptions, okay? First exception, you can't yell fire, or there's going to be an explosion or whatever, in a theater or something like that. You can't do that, all right? Because of the violence that could incite indirectly, because somebody could end up getting trampled or what have you. So that's one exception. And the other exception would be explicit calls to violence. That's the other exception. So those are the two exceptions of free speech where the government can have the right to do something to you. Well, that's not what's happening. When you're not explicitly, but implicitly, indirectly, encouraging, instigating, egging on violent behavior with your rhetoric, the crap that's coming out of your mouth, well, that's a problem. And yeah, the government might not have the right implicit stuff. You're just implying it to do something about it, but your local community should do something about it. That sort of behavior should not be tolerated whatsoever. There's a bunch of nut jobs out here in every group, okay? Right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're across the board. They're in every group. Everybody has their crazies who they want to be egged on. They want to get a pat on the back. They want to feel like a hero. They want to feel like they're somebody special. And when you're encouraging it, when you're celebrating it, when that happens to somebody, yeah, you should do it too. Yeah, that's what they're hearing in their head because they're a crazy person. And then they're going to want to do the same stupid crap. And people on the left that are going around celebrating all this crap right now, they know that. They know that. Let's not kid ourselves. They don't really care about hypocrisy. It's not about that. It's not about being consistent with their principles and their morals. It's about using it against conservatives as a weapon. These claims to consistency, these claims to principle that they don't have at all. It's about, I'm talking about the far left, all these radicals out there, which has become pretty mainstream in the Democrat Party in the United States to become radical. But point being, it's not about them actually caring about that stuff. It's just about them using it against you to get you to be quiet while they keep doing it. That's what it's about. They don't actually give a rip about it. And again, no, it's not hypocrisy. Here's why it's not hypocrisy. On the left, they'll want to cancel somebody for like saying the N-word 20 years ago when they were a young idiot. Since then, a couple decades have passed. They could have totally changed as a person. Might not feel the same way at all. Might not talk that way at all now. But now all of a sudden, somebody finds something that they wrote somewhere, and now they need to be held accountable for it. And now we're going to get you fired for it. On the left, they'll want to cancel you for misgendering them. because you don't agree that somebody is a particular gender. So you respond to them and how that you think is appropriate, and then they get all offended by it, and they say you're encouraging violence with your words, yada yada yada, and so now we're going to cancel you for it. That's the kind of stupid crap that they want to cancel people for. It is not at all comparable to cancel somebody for agging on that sort of behavior for the reasons that I already laid out. So no, it's not hypocrisy, but yes, I would argue it is canceling somebody. You're doing the same thing. People are going around trying to find out where these people work, trying to get them fired, trying to get them held accountable. And no, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. They should be held accountable. We don't need these people, especially when they're in a position like a teacher or in some position of authority. We don't need these people teaching kids. We don't need these people having positions of power in society. They're nut jobs. They're crazy loons. So I encourage people to go out and do that. That's a good sort of thing to do. Not responding with more of that sort of politically motivated violent act in return. No, that's not the right sort of behavior. But holding people accountable in the right sort of way is. I encourage people to do more of that. You should do that. It's a great thing to do. Yes. It is a matter of when these things are appropriate. There are circumstances when a community should hold somebody within that community accountable. That's the whole point. That the government shouldn't do it so that the community can. And should. Appropriately. It's not complicated. Don't be tricked by these people, bad actors out there in society, these loons. They want to act like you're doing the wrong thing. The second that you stop, they're going to want to do it to you for a ridiculous reason. So don't let them bully you. Don't let them trick you out of doing it for a legitimate reason. Much love. Peace.